Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Carson's Conversations. This is episode 5. We're gonna do a little bit of a more in-depth on me as a person, so you can get better. You can get better at knowing me. It looks like I can't speak today. It's all that Fortino's work. Yeah, but really, what we're gonna start off with is a real thank you because the the amount of people that have seen just all the episodes, the 4 episodes that I've made, it's it's like I've got to take a step back and see, whoa, maybe I'm actually doing something. Maybe this could be something. That's the real crazy thing, and it's a big thanks to Bryce, Annika, and Jesse for coming out on such short notice. Bryce had continued to help me through that entire time. He's just helped me out a whole bunch. He helped me find the mics that I'm using, the ones down here, and the other one that's not used right now, and even just a whole bunch of other stuff. Just being such a nice guy. Annika, she sent me a text saying, "Hey, I'd really like to have a great conversation." Same with Jesse. But Annika was just a really nice person to talk to because it's something I completely don't understand, and the entire time I'm just sitting there shocked. Emailing professors in grade 7. Real question is, everybody that's listening, what were you doing in grade 7? It, what? I don't remember doing anything productive like emailing professors. Like, same thing with Jesse. He came out of the blue. He was super passionate about what he wanted to talk about. Really wanting to possibly make a change in what's happening in the world right now. And it was just such a great, just 3 people in that time just changed the way I think and look at a whole bunch of different things. And it's just great. And another group of people that I need to thank is you guys, because you guys have been great. Seeing all my things, I think we're at like 4,000 views on Instagram, something like that. YouTube, we're at around 1,500 right now. Um, iTunes and Spotify, we're doing real good too, considering it's just audio, which is less visual and not as interesting, I think. Um, but it's just been insane, guys. It's crazy. So let's try and get into a little bit more about me. Like I said, I wanted to get into business, and when I was talking with Annika, we talked about how I was in a little bit of a business competition, and that was when I was in grade 10, and I took a entrepreneurship course, which kind of changed the way I look. It really changed me as a person because I was like, wow, I don't need to work for anybody else if I do it this way. I can build my own business. I can build whatever I want around me, and I'm not going to have to worry about listening to the manager Jim Bob commanding me to do something that's completely a waste of time and not going to help me out. And it's going to be just wasted hours where I could be doing something productive with my life, like building my own business, which was like, wow, that's at grade 10, I figured that out. And that's how, like, with the other people and the other guests that were on, they found something that they liked at a really early age, and it helped them. And that's kind of what sparked me to do things my own way, and like, it's nothing's going to be handed to you kind of thing. And yeah, the other thing is that it was just like, oh wow, these people did this. Entrepreneurs can build so many different things, and if people know me, they know I like Gary Vaynerchuk. He's a really cool entrepreneur. He also kind of sparked things for me. He was just I just read his book, and it was just like, okay, you can. There's no need for you to just wait around and do something, even if you're old. Even if you're young. People do it when they're older, and it sometimes doesn't work out. So I have no restrictions right now. I have a fallback. I have another year in high school, so I don't have to pay rent. The only thing that I have a constant in like, I'm just generating money. There's nothing I'm losing. Um, so why not? Why not jump full into it? And it's just, why wouldn't I? What's the point not to? And a couple people were like, "No way, you just decided to make a podcast in your spare time." Yeah, you guys should too. I need some other Dundas podcast to have on, cause or Hamilton or wherever we are. It, like, the whole thing is, it's just do it. There's no point. Nike says it best. Just do it. You can figure it out. I figured it out. It works. It's fun. I've never had more fun in my life doing something like this. It's just great. So if we can get back to that after that little tangent, yeah, entrepreneurship is really where it's at. And what I wanted to do and what I tried to do after that little competition was build my own business. I called it Vita Media, which is life in Latin. My brother gave me a little trick. If you wanted to make anything sound cool, you go into Google Translate, type in whatever word you want, it'll translate it into Latin, and then you're perfect. Sounds cooler, right? Vita sounds way better than Life Media. Um, yeah, so I wanted to build my own company. I tried and tried and tried. I had a little bit of experience, maybe a year or so managing a small t-shirt company kind of thing. Not really managing, but helping the guy out. Um, and that was really, really fun. I really enjoyed it. And that also created a spark for like, wow, maybe I can do this. And I don't really have to leave my house or figure something out like that where I won't have to be traveling too much or something like that. But also the traveling part is very enticing and I really want to do something like that. But yeah, so it was media management. I wanted to go around with small businesses and find out a way to make their Instagram accounts, their social media accounts just way better than it already is. And I started to realize no business was going to trust a 16-year-old with their business's image. So I was just like, okay, how am I going to work around this? And I tried and tried for about a year and it didn't work out. And I couldn't get any jobs even though I was emailing constantly trying to set up meetings or do something like that, or talking with local restaurants saying, hey, we can do this. I have a friend photographer that can help me out. Shout out to Blake. He can help you. We have a great photographer. He does tons of stuff, tons of experience. He can help us out. And then they were like, nope, no, no, not a chance. They didn't really say not a chance to my face, but it was kind of read between the lines, right? And they were like, not a chance. So yeah, that was a really fun experience, just finding out how I'm gonna move around that. And that's kind of what sparked after I read Gary's book was don't worry about it now. Figure out a way to build a brand around yourself and then people will come to you. And I've kind of even seen that in the past couple days where I've made just kind of a quick little, Carson's Conversations. People have been texting me out of the blue just saying, hey, can I come on the podcast? Can I come on the podcast? Some of them don't really have a topic or anything in mind, but that'd be kind of fun. I guess I got to grow bigger before I can have kind of random people on or something like that, but it'd be definitely really, really fun. So building the brand around myself is going to hopefully start with just the podcast. And then I want to expand into bigger things. I'm not really sure what those bigger things are going to be. Like I'm going to stay with social media, keep growing those. The Instagram account's working out really, really well. Yeah, and so I'm using this basically. I'm using this platform just to grow the name around myself. So in the future, if I ever go to a company or I go back to business, or go back fully into making my own business and media management, they'll be like, oh, geez, this guy's got a whole bunch of followers. We'll accept his stuff. He's making tons of content. Maybe he can do that for us. So that's kind of where my mindset is right now, where I'm just like, I got to put as much content as possible. And that's why I got that heavy 3-day posting schedule and having a whole bunch of people come in, which is really, really nice. The future of the podcast, I haven't really thought too much about that, which is probably bad. But I think I just want to have as many guests on as possible. On Friday, we're going to have a great guest coming in. I won't spoil it for you, but some of you know he did have a smart car at one point, and then somebody broke it. Damn, that's terrible news too. The people that get it will get it. It's a good old smart car. But diesel smart car too, which even makes it better. But yeah, so there's a whole bunch of different things that I want to do with it. So I want to use this to bring in as many guests as possible and spark a ton of conversation, which would be amazing because the world it's just got a big issue with people twisting words or using something that you said in the past, which doesn't really, you said it 8 years ago or something like that. That's kind of a pain too. Or, just bringing more people together just to talk about things that don't necessarily have a huge impact. Having huge impact does always it helps a lot, but sometimes you need to start off small. So starting off small with someone just making beats like Bryce. I don't need to have a political not a sorry a what was I gonna say? I don't need to have a super famous person on. Let's just start off small and see where I can get it. Exactly like with Bryce starting off with the beats. That was the most viewed video on YouTube so far. It's easy. It doesn't need to be too hard. And that even goes back to, guys, if you want to make something like this, a YouTube channel, you're a photographer, you want to take photos and see if you can make it big like that. Don't worry about other people. Just do it. Exactly. Nike. I'm not wearing Nikes, but hey, you just gotta, there's no point in waiting around and saying, oh, maybe I'll do it, maybe not. Just do it, please. It'll be way better for you and you'll feel way better about yourself because at least you tried to put in the effort. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then as long as you can cut your losses and figure it out later, you'll be fine. There's no, especially for the majority of people listening right now are young. They're my age or younger or a year or so older. And you guys just, there's no point in waiting around right now. This is the best time for you to experiment with different things. In growing like businesses, you could try and build your own business. I have a friend of mine that's making or that has a digital storefront who sells bike gear. Do that. It's easy. He's making like 500 USD a week, which is ridiculous. He's making tons of money doing that. And it's just making a website, using Google AdSense, all that type of stuff, and promoting the page so it's the first on the like optimization. That's the first thing. And then let's get back to I go away, I fall out, I just continue talking and I forget where I'm at. But so we want to have the more guests. We want to build as much content as possible, figure out what we can do and how we can make communications and stuff like that better in the world. I really want to expand to like a large scale option. So not only would that large scale option that I'm more or less dreaming about be able to give me way high profile guests, it would be able to have a large scale change. So I know earlier I was talking about how I don't need all these big names yet. I'd like to get my setup perfect and all that stuff going, right? But if we're thinking about in the future, say next year, I'd love to have some big name people on just so I could have a great conversation, see what they did with their life, whatever they found out, and how that really kind of sparked them to build either a business or their career or something like that. I think that would be really interesting for you guys. And I know everybody's liked the guests so far, and I think it's going to continue to get cooler and cooler and cooler, and I'm really excited for that. And yeah, I think getting a whole bunch of different people on. I'm going to try and be as cool as Joe Rogan. He's kind of legendary and gets like 3 million views per video, but we'll get there. But the real kind of, I don't know what it is recently, I've really wanted to be like a Tonight Show host. I think it's just like talking with people, because if anybody knows me, I never shut up. I just constantly talk about anything, or I find a fact or I look something up that's going to kind of propel the conversation because that's just interesting to me. I like figuring out different things about people's lives. But the thing right now is I really want to be a Tonight Show host. I think if I can build a brand around myself, again, with the brands, and I got enough passion behind it, I think I can get there. I think that'd be really, really cool, where I'm just like, oh, I don't know where I'd be though, but I do one in Canada. I don't know. Oh, mate. Oh, geez. Somebody give me some ideas later. We'll sit down and have a conversation about that because that'd be really cool. Maybe in the States, like knock off, and then California or something like that. That'd be cool. Or New York, like Jimmy Fallon. Maybe I could be the new Carson. That'd be interesting. That'd be really funny, actually. The return of Carson on the Tonight Show. That would be great. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of different things like that. But I'd want to also continue to stay with business and stuff like that, even if I got to the dream point of running my own or of having my own like Tonight Show or like late night show. I'd really want to still have a business. And I know there's a whole bunch of actors that do that. Like Hugh Jackman has his coffee company, and I know Ryan Reynolds has his gin, and that works out pretty well. Or even like Conor McGregor, he's a fighter and he's got tons of money coming in, not from his fights, but from his Proper 12 and his Champ Rosé, that type of stuff. So there's a whole bunch of different things that I can do, and it's so crazy to think about what I'm gonna do in the future, because I think I have stuff figured out right now, but I know I don't have anything figured out. And that's the coolest part. I have no clue what's coming, and I love the process rather than the end result. Because just making these videos right now it's like shocking. It's like, oh wow, this is the most fun I've had in a long time, and I've played a bunch of sports. It's literally, yeah, sports are great, sports are fun, they get your heart pumping. But as soon as like the nerves settle from having like the first podcast, it's been just like adrenaline and kind of an addiction from this part. At least it's a good addiction. Like, at least I'm just putting a ton of effort into something useful, right? Like, if I like hockey and all that stuff, because I play hockey and football, that those are my two big sports, right? And those sports are so much fun. You get super, super excited. Somebody makes a big hit, someone scores, anything like that. That's really, really fun. But as soon as the guest knocks on the door and goes, all right, buddy, let's get this going, or whatever they do, or whatever, like they just having different people come over and talk about whatever they want, even off camera, that's the best. It's such a satisfying feeling. Like after Monday's episode, me and Jesse hung out for pretty much the whole day, and we just talked about everything. We talked about what the future of his blog's gonna be and all this different stuff, and it was just like, wow, it didn't even need to be recorded. Recording it just makes it a little bit better because I can make something off of it, which is a little ego and kind of sad. But it was it really sparks a lot of stuff, and it brings more love. I honestly, because it brings attention to so many different things and what people are passionate about. And this is honestly the main topic of this podcast. And I think everybody's heard me say passion about a million times, but I'm going to stay repeating myself because it is what we need. As long as you find something you truly love, you'll be fine. Do whatever you want. You won't be mad if you're going into your job and working like 90-hour weeks. Because, or whatever, a whole bunch of hours, because you love it. Like we were talking about, lawyers work so many hours, but if you really like being a lawyer, do it. And I was reading, I forget what book it was, but it was referring to somebody that was a lawyer, and they just couldn't, they didn't really have the lifestyle to be one. What they wanted to do was kind of live in Hawaii, surf. He did a whole bunch of triathlons, and then after that, he started filming his workouts and stuff like that. Him and his wife would film them because they wanted to lose a little bit of weight, and then that ended up spiraling to out of control growth of their channel, of their vlogs kind of thing. And the guy started from doing his little workouts, running like maybe half a marathon, all that stuff, training for those things. And then he ended up running those like dead man runs, or I forget what it was, like the Iron Man or Steel Man or something like that. Those things where it's like 100 miles that you have to run. And they just ended up filming that, and he built a complete business around that because he didn't want to be a lawyer anymore. And then he started making books. He started making cookbooks because his wife could cook. There's a whole bunch of crazy different things that you can do there. And it's just shocking at if you put your mind to something, guys, you can do it. Like there's no worry about it. No matter whatever your age is or whatever you do or whoever you are, it's not that hard. Actually, the hardest part about it, though, is just finding the thing that you really think you can do for the rest of your life. And then from there, everything's easy because you're just going to enjoy it. And you're not going to be pushing back on anything. You're just going to be, this is what I need to do. We're doing that the whole time. I'm not going to stop. Nothing's slowing me down. I'm gonna love the process of me doing this, building this, doing whatever it is, and I'm just gonna continue doing it. And there's nothing bad about that. It doesn't matter about the money if you love it, because you could live in wherever you want. Maybe the money is important to some people, and it definitely is to me because I do like cars, and those things are currently expensive. So it doesn't necessarily matter about it, but if that's something that's gonna make you happy, do it. Go for it. Make as much money as you can. Do what you want. Give back to people. Do everything that you think is going to make you a better person and solve things for the future and do other things like that. There's nothing bad about that. There's no point in not doing it. Just do it. I'm going to get copy striked because I'm using Nike's slogan too much. This is sad. But it's so true. I got to come up with my own. Yeah, people comment down below. Also subscribe and like and follow all this stuff because I'd like to see more people in this, and I think sharing this as much as possible could help people, and I hope that just the conversation continues. But we do need to come up with my own motivational slogan rather than stealing from a billion-dollar companies. What do we do? What do we do? I guess I'll make a poll. We're doing this live, so we're going to make a poll, and then we'll figure that out later. But yeah, the experiences that I've had in my own life in 16 years have really kind of broadened my mind because I know I'm extremely lucky in many regards. pardon me, but there's just some things that you might not be as lucky as me, but all that means is you just need to push just as hard. You just need to push 4 times harder. You need to get as much as you can, figure out whatever issues that you have, and make sure you have a great kind of mindset towards yourself. And as long as you're living in a like a great what's the word I'm looking for? But as long as you're in a great kind of mindset, and you've got a high level of you don't even need too much intelligence, to be honest with you, as long as you're super super passionate about it. Because I wouldn't classify myself as a genius or anything like that. It's just all this whole podcast here is just confidence and passion. That is it. That's it. If as long as you can find yourself and continue to do what you love, that's it. And I think I've repeated myself enough today, guys. So I gotta thank you for coming out for this short little video. I'm making it a little smaller than the other ones. Hopefully it's around 15 minutes. But as long as you guys find what you want, yeah, we'll do the quick recap. Thank you, Bryce. Thank you for coming out. This great conversation on your career. And I know just after that podcast magic happened, that was great. And I know I'm so excited for you. Annika, I know you're going to be the best scientist that I know, because I don't know any. You're going to be the best scientist. You're going to figure out all the stuff that you need. Jesse, this blog is going viral. We're going to make it happen. Everybody viewing, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys don't even know. This has just been amazing. This is honestly 8 days so far. It's been just great, constant feedback. Everybody's liking it. The only issues people have had is maybe I need a couple more camera angles, but I'm not making money enough. I'm not making enough money to buy another camera. I maybe need a better, more professional setup. We're not there yet. We're staying with Schumacher and Italian Passion. Oh my gosh. For the people listening and the people seeing, this is Italian Passion. That's pretty cool. Passion's there. We're going for it. But I got to thank everybody else. Anybody that's been here, anybody that's hung out with me, everybody. Thank you so much. Let's hope that I can get to that Tonight Show and I can have all these people that help me out on the way and do that stuff. But thank you for tuning in for episode 5. This has been the second solo one. On Friday, we're having a great episode come up. It's going to be around 30 minutes with someone that might shock your mind, and I don't really know how I got him on here, but we're going to do it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, follow me on Instagram, Carson GRE. Carson's Conversations might not actually happen anymore, but we're going to do it, like the Instagram account, not the podcast. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Boom.